Beast Mode. Mr. Here So I Won't Get Fined. The Skittles Dude. Marshawn Lynch during the 2010s was more than just a Pro Bowl running back on perennial playoff teams. He was an icon who you could not avoid. And to people who were not Seattle Seahawks fans at that time, they may have been tired of seeing his goofy ass face on every billboard and every commercial and every goddamn talk show. But Marshawn was and still is a fucking icon. Not a fucking icon, but a fucking icon. But the passing of time has made it so there are a lot of people that were not around during the era of having your friend go beast mode after stunlocking you in a corner with Aaron Black in Mortal Kombat X. Fuck you, Ryan, by the way. I haven't played a fighting game since that day back in 2015. Getting stunlocked 6 games in a row changes a man. Recency bias and short-term memory in sports fans can be a disservice for players that did good to great things over a shorter period of time than the Tom Brady's, Patrick Mahomes, or Peyton Mannings of the world. The purpose of this video and this series is to create a time capsule for players and teams that deserve recognition, for better or for worse. On today's docket, Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn has been getting called beast mode since his high school days back in Oakland, or as he calls it,
what part? North Oakland, Ice City.
Ice City?
Ice City, but...
And apparently, that's when the Skittles thing started as well. Mama Lynch gave her tennis ball-shaped son candy before every game as a way of combating nerves. Obviously this worked, because he played well enough to get the opportunity to commit to the University of California, Berkeley. As soon as Lynch touched the field, he made an impact for both football and entertainment. As a true freshman, Marshawn rushed for 628 yards and only 71 attempts for an average of 8.8 fucking yards per carry. He also threw in 10 touchdowns for good measure. As you guys already know, I'm quite a stats nerd, yet this is the first time I've seen a true bell cow running back have such a monstrous yards per attempt average. Who knows the kind of numbers he'd be able to put up if he wasn't sharing carries with JJ Arrington, who was a fucking bum. What's that? Arrington was putting his wiener in the mouth of every defense he went against to rush for 2,000 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry and almost 300 attempts. Quick side note, did you know that Marshawn returned kicks in college? Also, did you know that he was 5'11"? My entire life, I thought the dude was 5'7", but I guess that's to do with the Honda Civic build he has.
That's quite big.
In Lynch's sophomore year, he was still splitting carries with Justin Fournette, but this time he had the role of lead back. He put up 1,200 yards and almost 200 carries, averaging 6 yards a pop, and accounting for 10 more touchdowns. It's good that Cal was able to run the ball so effectively because their quarterback was some Melvin named Joe Ayub, who threw for 15 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Did someone say interception? Watch my last video. Then, in Marshawn's junior year, he leveled up once again. On 223 attempts, Lynch accumulated almost 1,700 yards for 15 touchdowns, once again averaging over 6 yards per carry. During the season of backbreaking, at the end of a Week 8 victory over Washington, where Lynch ran for $150 and 2 touchdowns, Marshawn gave us this gem.
Across the field.
That's one of the more ridiculous things I've ever seen.
It's Marshawn Lynch, not Desmond Bishop. 2 number 10s on this Cal team.
Our boy was out here ghost riding the golf cart. Like I said, fucking icon. Marshawn then declared for the 2007 NFL Draft and was selected 12th overall by the J.P. Lossman-led Buffalo Bills. Poor guy. Immediately, Lynch was given the keys to the offense. As a rookie, he came in and carried the ball 280 times for a respectable 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns, while still missing 3 games. He also threw for a touchdown this season. And even though he was only able to average 4 yards per carry, which was certainly a step down from his college dominance, we saw the makings of what was going to be the reason he became a household name. Amazing short area explosiveness, brute strength, and god-tier contact balance. You guys will see during the video, but Lynch has some of the greatest contact balance and concentration I've ever seen from the running back position. In 2008, Lynch had a fairly similar season while splitting quite a few carries with another young running back by the name of Fred Jackson. Even with that obstacle in his way, Beast Mode was voted in to attend his first ever Pro Bowl as a second-year player. In 2009, Lynch was suspended for the first 3 games of the season for keeping that thang on him. When he came back, he was still the unquestioned starter. Until he wasn't. Marshawn had a string of incredibly stinky ad games, which made the coaching staff make a difficult decision. They benched Lynch in favor of the hungry Fred Jackson. And being honest, Jackson simply outplayed Lynch in every aspect. Except for maybe getting into the end zone. How the fuck do you get 237 carries but only get in the end zone 4 times, Fred? In 2010, Marshawn got off to another slow start. And with the season that Fred had just over a year ago, they made a move. Marshawn Lynch was now a Seattle Seahawk. If you were ever curious on Beast Mode's feelings about Buffalo, here's your answer.
Well, I was asleep. I was asleep.
Sleep mean piss. He ain't having it. He out here heated. Did you ever adjust to Buffalo?
Yeah, when I got out of there.
When you got out of there?
Yeah.
Now, we'll be honest and call it what it is. Marshawn had a bad regular season in 2010. But none of that nerd shit matters, because it's what happened in the playoffs that year that really means anything. January 8th, wild card round. The 7-9 Seattle Seahawks, who made the fucking playoffs with a 7-9 record, versus the heavily favored 11-5 New Orleans Saints. Play the goddamn clip.
Crowd silent now, as opposed to when the Saints have the ball. Oh, look at this run! What a run! Marshawn Lynch, still on his feet, has blockers now. He's dancing his way for the touchdown!
Beastquake. I'm not going to sit here and say the obvious shit, but this is one of the greatest runs in NFL history. This particular run displayed everything that made Marshawn who he was, and why the Seahawks took a chance on him. Explosiveness, change of direction, power, slipperiness. Motherfucker looked like he was coated in Crisco. That contact balance I talked about. And dick grabbing. I mean, he got more than a handful right there. Even though the Seahawks lost their next playoff game to the Chicago Bears, none of that mattered anymore, because it was now the beast mode era in Seattle. It was in the Seahawks blue and green that Marshawn said this.
So while y'all at it right now, take care of y'all bodies, you know what I mean? Don't take care of y'all chicken, you feel me? Don't take care of y'all mentals, because look, we ain't lasting that long.
Damn it, Marshawn, you're right. I do have to protect my chicken. This video is sponsored by me, bitch. The NFL won't let me make any money on these videos because I've made the creative decision to use highlights as a backdrop to increase the quality of the video and engagement of you lovely viewers. If you want to see more videos like this, please check out my YouTube members page or my Patreon and consider supporting the Grinch Gang. Back to the nerd shit. In 2011, which was Lynch's first full season in Seattle, he played great. 285 carries for just over 1,200 yards and 13 total touchdowns, averaging just a little over 4 yards a carry. He also attempted 2 passes this year. He probably could have done better at quarterback than Travaris Jackson, to be fair. Unfortunately, 7-9 was not enough to get into the playoffs this year. But Marshawn made another Pro Bowl, which, if you have been listening during class, was his first Pro Bowl since his second season. The team had a few young players that were coming into their own on defense. Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, KJ Wright, and Richard Sherman. In the 2012 offseason, the Seattle Seahawks acquired a certain quarterback that was going to change the team's reputation and legacy forever. Matt Flynn, were you expecting someone else? I mean, Seattle gave him a 3-year contract worth $26 million. Obviously, he was going to be their guy. Fine. In the 2012 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks selected the manlet out of Wisconsin named Russell Wilson. They also scooped up a little linebacker by the name of Bobby Wagner in the second round. After a great offseason of development for the young guys on defense and inserting more talent onto the offensive side of the ball, the Seahawks went 11-5 in 2012. Also, Beast Mode had one of the greatest running back seasons of the 2010s. Almost 1,600 yards on 315 carries for 5 yards an attempt while throwing in 12 total touchdowns. The Beast Mode hype train was in full effect. This dude was a fucking monster, and he was the face of Seattle. The Hawks made the playoffs, beating the Washington in the wild card round, but lost a close one to the Atlanta Falcons in the divisional. And then it happened. The 2013 NFL season. This is when the Seattle Seahawks truly developed one of the most obnoxious and toxic fan bases in NFL history. Being a native to Washington and having a family that lived in Seattle at this time, I would like to apologize to absolutely no one, because 12th man, baby, 12th man! The Hawks were good. I mean, really fucking good. And while Marshawn took a step back in statistics compared to that insane 2012 season, I doubt he minds much. In 2013, Beast Mode carried the ball 300 times for almost 1,300 yards and 14 total touchdowns. He also made another Pro Bowl appearance. The Seahawks then went on a killing spree of all playoff competition in their way, including the Peyton Manning-led Broncos in Super Bowl 48, 43-8. It was the most lopsided Super Bowl in a very long time, if not ever. And even though Marshawn had a little stinky of a stinky game, it didn't matter. He was a world champion, and no one could take that away from him. 2014. Beast Mode had another great year. He toted the rock 280 times for 1,300 yards, 17 total touchdowns, and a very impressive 4.7 yards per carry. Not just that, but the 12-4 Seahawks found themselves in another Super Bowl. They were only down by 4 points and on the 1 yard line. Marshawn not only had 17 touchdowns in the regular season, but he was also tearing Bill Belichick's legendary defense a new one, having over 100 yards at this point in the game. Then it happened. If you think I'm going to watch that clip one more time, you have another thing coming. On the 1 yard line with Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, the Seattle Seahawks threw the ball, and Malcolm Butler became a hero for the New England Patriots. Good thing Marshawn handled the situation really well.
Whoa. And as I hear the shit, I usually don't take my helmet off, but I take my helmet off and I go right to Pete Carroll's face, and I'm talking about I hit his ass with the biggest. You laughed in his face? What the? And at that point, shit, I come up out my shit. I go to the locker room.
The sad part about this moment is not just that I'm a Seahawks fan having to relive some garbage-ass memories. It's that this was kind of the end of the Marshawn Lynch prime. He played in just 7 games in the 2015 season, dealing with some kind of hernia that required surgery. The team went 10-6 with a backfield of Thomas Rawls, Christian Michael, and, oh hey look, it's Fred Jackson again. What are you doing here, bud? The Seahawks lost in the divisional round to the Super Bowl intending Carolina Panthers. At the end of the season, Marshawn Lynch retired from the game of football that gave him so much. That injury effectively ended his career. He took 2016 off to recover, and I assume chased Skittles down with shots of Hennessy. But in 2017, he joined his hometown team, the Oakland Raiders. Not only did Marshawn play professional football again, but he was an immediate starter and actually played pretty damn well. He carried the ball 207 times for almost 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. For a 31-year-old running back who had recently dealt with a serious surgery, that's pretty impressive. But the team was shit and still win 6-10. In 2018, Beast Mode was looking to bounce back once again and make a difference for the Raiders. Then he suffered a cock and ball injury in a Week 6 matchup versus the Seattle Seahawks. He was out the rest of the season, and just like that, his Raider career was over. But in the last week of the 2019 season, the injury-riddled Seattle Seahawks signed Marshawn out of free agency to carry the ball for them. And it wasn't pretty, but we did get to see Beast Mode score in the blue and green a few more times. After losing in the divisional round to the Green Bay Packers, Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch officially retired from professional football. Now he's a podcaster and interviewee. Beast Mode wasn't just another running back that had a short prime, got injured, and then was forced to retire. The moments on and off the field he left behind will forever be in the minds of everyone who have seen them. Don't let the memory of Beast Mode die. I mean, he's only 38 and seems pretty healthy, so maybe that was a bit much. After watching this video, go out and eat some Skittles in memory of Marshawn Lynch. But save the orange ones for me. They're my favorite.